Revisiting Percy Hutton Betty Mitchell, a true crime legal analysis. Few cases in recent history so poignantly reveal the intricacies of the American judicial system as Percy Hutton v. Betty Mitchell. This case invites us into a complex world of legal battles, ethical dilemmas, and life-or-death stakes, posing critical questions about the safeguarding of justice and fairness in capital punishment cases. In this episode, we'll analyze the case and its broader implications, shedding light on an appeal that demanded a deeper look at the responsibilities of courts when it comes to procedural flaws. Join us as we unravel the layers of this landmark legal battle. To understand the weight of Hutton v. Mitchell, it's essential to first explore the terrain of habeas petitions. At its core, a habeas corpus petition is a legal mechanism through which an individual in custody challenges either their imprisonment legality or the conditions of their confinement. It serves as a safeguard in the justice system to ensure that those imprisoned receive fair treatment under the law. In Hutton's case, his habeas corpus petition was a pivotal step in contesting the validity of his death sentence. He filed the petition asserting 13 separate grounds for relief, using it as a platform to argue critical procedural failings during his trial and sentencing. The facts of Percy Hutton's case lay the foundation for a gripping legal drama. Hutton was convicted of murder and sentenced to death, a sentence that raised eyebrows due to alleged errors during his trial and sentencing process. Seeking justice, he presented 13 claims of procedural errors in his habeas petition, ranging from trial-related missteps to broader concerns about the fairness of his sentencing. Of these 13 claims, 6 were deemed substantial enough to be certified for appeal. It is among these 6 claims that we find the most pressing issue: the omission of certain jury instructions during Hutton's sentencing, sparking a critical debate on the question of fairness and lawfulness. To grasp the implications of this case, we need to delve into the importance of jury instructions. Jury instructions are not just procedural formalities. They guide the jury in understanding how to weigh the evidence and apply the law during their deliberations. These instructions ensure that jurors, often without legal expertise, adhere to the standards set forth by court procedures and the Constitution. In capital punishment cases like Hutton's, the stakes are immeasurably high. A mistake, like omitting critical instructions, can skew the sentencing process, potentially leading to a miscarriage of justice. This is why Hutton's claim regarding faulty jury instructions became a critical aspect of his appeal. At the heart of Hutton's appeal lies one compelling question: can a state court's independent review of a death sentence rectify significant errors in jury instructions? This question is not abstract. It has precedential roots. To address it, the court was forced to revisit Hoffner v. Bradshaw, a prior case in which similar procedural issues arose. In Hoffner, the Sixth Circuit Court debated whether a state court's post-sentencing review could cure lapses made during the trial phase. The conclusion was contentious, leaving lingering uncertainties about the limits of such reviews. With Hutton's case, the Sixth Circuit Court now had an opportunity to provide more clarity by testing this precedent against new facts. Initially, a district court ruled against granting Hutton habeas relief, rejecting his claims about jury instructions. However, the Sixth Circuit Court reversed this decision in part, siding with Hutton on the procedural flaws raised. In doing so, the court not only revisited Hoffner's precedent but reinforced the idea that procedural fairness cannot be glossed over, even in cases involving heinous crimes. Through this reversal, the Sixth Circuit established that even when state courts conduct independent reviews of death penalty cases, such reviews cannot replace the unbiased and accurate process jury instructions are designed to support. Missteps in this critical component must be recognized and rectified, especially when human lives are at stake. This case intertwines legal questions with ethical and social dilemmas, compelling us to confront key issues about the death penalty process. Jury instruction errors, if left uncorrected, could compromise not just individual cases but the integrity of the judicial system as a whole. One of the major implications of the Hutton case is its potential influence on future capital punishments. If courts tolerate such lapses without rigorous review, public trust in the fairness of death penalty rulings weakens, a prospect that puts the very function of justice on trial. Moreover, the case sheds light on the broader accountability of post-sentencing review mechanisms, igniting debates about whether procedural corrections at later stages can adequately address grave errors in the trial phase. While independent review by state courts is essential, it cannot become a catch-all for oversights made alien. Beneath the legal intricacies lies the human side of this case, one that true crime enthusiasts cannot overlook. Percy's life hinged on whether the court recognized the potential prejudices introduced through flawed procedures. On the other side of this equation stands the family of the victim, grappling with the realization that their pursuit of justice has been delayed or potentially compromised. Such cases force us to confront the emotional toll of the justice system on both defendants and victims, especially when life and death decisions rest on judicial interpretations. Furthermore, one must consider the ethical responsibility of ensuring every death sentence meets an unassailable threshold of fairness. The death penalty is final. There is no undoing its consequences. Hutton's case serves as a somber reminder of the stakes that come with such irrevocable decisions. Hutton's case raises alarms about gaps in the safeguards designed to protect defendants from procedural failings. Without strict adherence to proper processes, especially in jury instructions, the system's credibility falters. The courts must continually refine procedures to prevent such omissions in the future. One possible solution is standardized, exhaustive guidelines for jury instructions, accompanied by mandatory checks to ensure compliance. This would both streamline the trial process and bolster public trust in the system. The Hutton case raises profound questions that resonate far beyond its own facts. Can the system genuinely guarantee fairness in capital cases when so much hinges on procedural precision? What mechanism should courts adopt to prevent oversights in high-stakes decisions? Moreover, the case underscores the disparity in how legal standards are applied across federal and state courts. While some courts demand rigorous adherence to procedural integrity, others fall short, creating a spectrum of judicial accountability that is uneven at best. Public trust in the death penalty, as a reflection of both deterrence and justice, rests on the court's ability to apply consistent and unbiased procedures. Cases like Percy Hutton's show us what happens when that faith is eroded, but they also offer a roadmap for improvement. From Percy Hutton's case emerges a series of lessons for policymakers, lawyers, and even the wider public. We learn about the fragility of capital punishment cases, the importance of jury instructions, and the role of higher courts as gatekeepers of fairness. Hutton reminds us why scrutiny over procedural fairness matters, and that courts must always prioritize integrity, even in cases involving the most serious crimes. It also illuminates areas that demand urgent reform in ensuring errors like those in Hutton's trial don't persist in future cases. The story of Percy Hutton v. Betty Mitchell is more than a legal struggle. It is a testament to the nuances of justice and the dire consequences of procedural lapses. It calls on us to confront the ethical, legal, and human dimensions of the death penalty, and to demand that every step in the judicial process meets the highest standard of fairness. As true crime enthusiasts, we often aim to understand the why behind a case, but in Hutton's story, it's the how that truly captivates us. How did the legal system risk faltering so severely? How did one man's life rest on the interpretation of procedure? And how do we as a society ensure that such mistakes never happen again? Stay tuned as we continue delving into the evolving landscape of true crime and justice, one case at a time. The lessons of the Hutton case don't just remain in the courtroom, they echo in the pursuit of a fair and equitable system for all.